Hello everyone, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. So we've got another video, yes I know, about the Sephora Vib sale. Today is going to be, as promised in my recommendations video, a full face using products from that video, just so that you know how they apply on me, how they work real time, just so that you can see and you'll know if it's, needed to put in your basket for the sale. So if you're interested in sticking around, just kind of putting this stuff on my face together, then just keep on watching. Alrighty, let's get this party started. Let's put these Sephora recommendations on my face. So I'm going to start off with the Rare Beauty Eye Primer. This thing is so good. A little bit kind of goes a very long way. That is probably too much. It's what I usually go in with though. So I let this set for just a couple of seconds. Letting it set for too long ends up making it a little bit drier. So literally just a couple of seconds. And this evens out my eyelid skin tone and it provides the perfect amount of tack. Like I feel slight, almost like resistance when I'm spreading it out, but not in a bad way. That sounds bad and I'm making it sound bad. It's not. So literally just spreading this out and look, it like evened out my skin tone. And then there's like, I can feel a slight bit of tack in order to go in with my shadow and like, I know it's gonna stick. Now this is not what I use for like super metallics, sparklies, that kind of thing. I'm gonna use something different today for that. But for my all over just lids, this is exactly what I use. So let's get into this palette. I'm gonna go in with a blending brush. This is by BH Cosmetics from a summer collection a few years ago. I'm gonna go in with the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette. This is one of the best palettes she has ever done, in my opinion at least. I mean, my opinion means not a whole lot, but I love it so much. The neutral mattes are just beautiful. For me to say, I'm not a matte type of girl, but oh, I love using these. And then the metallics, stunning, like different dimension, just different all around. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with, let's just go ahead in the order and let's start off with this one right here. These are named the way she does some of her shadows these days, and it's like transition, crease, what's the next one? Smoke. I kind of would like actual shade names, but that's okay. So listen, I dipped twice and that's the lightest shade. Look how beautiful. It's just a simple wash, but it is a formula that just almost looks very airbrushed on the eyelid. So it's just perfect. And it is the perfect little wash of color. You could really go in with this all over the lid, into the crease, and just be done. So, okay, let me grab a smaller brush and let's go ahead and go into, let me clean this a little bit. Okay, I'll grab this one. We're gonna go into the crease shade, which is this middle shade right here. I know these were limited edition when they released during the holiday season. I did see that they were in stock still, but I didn't check if it still said limited edition. I'm thinking I should have done that. I wonder if maybe they were so popular that they changed it to permanent. But there are times where a limited edition product will just kind of last, for the first few months of the year. So if that is the case and you have been kind of curious or you've been wanting to try this out, or maybe the price point is what's kind of like held you back, use this time to your advantage and grab this on a discount, because I guarantee you, for me, this is even worth full price. And then lastly, I'm going to go into the smoke shade right here. And I'm going to add a little bit, but we're going to add more once we lay down the metallic shade. So I'm just going to add a touch just to begin smoking it out. This is going to be such a simple look. And there's only 5 shades, so it really does take a lot of the hard decision-making process out of it for you, because it's like there's not a whole lot to work with. But they are also beautiful enough to where, it's simple, but very beautiful. Okay, I took a little bit of my Fenty Pro Filter Eye Primer. I'm just gonna place this down where I want to put those metallic shades. Okay, so let's go in with this is a very old brush. I think it's MAC, but I'm gonna go in with the lighter of the two metallics. I'm just going to put this, and it is called Inner Corner. Typically, I'd go in with my finger. This eye is hard to do on camera with my finger, and I just realized that. That's why I typically like to go in with the other eye when I film, and I don't know. It's too early in the morning for that. So I'm just going to place this down just a little bit. I'm going to even take it a little bit into my inner corner and just kind of extend it up here slightly. And I will say that I do prefer these applied with a finger just because I do feel like it obviously intensifies. It's even with a brush, it's super high wattage, but prefer it with a finger. Now I'm going to go in with this outer corner shade and we're going to finish this out. Ooh. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Every single time, just absolutely beautiful. It's like someone turned on the light on my eye. It's just full wattage, absolutely stunning. It isn't for the faint of heart, I will say that. Okay, now I'm going to go in with a little bit more of that smoke shade because we started smoking, but obviously, as with always, it'll kind of disappear a little bit, so you kind of need to add in a little more, just blend these two together, make it a little more seamless than what I had going on. Not much. I think that will do it. That's really as simple as we're going to take it. I do want a little bit more of that lighter matte shade up in my crease area, just to kind of bring that out a little bit more because I've lost a little bit of it. All right, so there is that. Let me do the other eye. I'll probably do like my, oh, you know what? We've got mascara to work with. Okay, let me just do the other eye. I'll be right back. So let's go into mascara. What a difference liner makes. And I didn't put this in my recommendations video, but I will tell you that the Rare Beauty liquid liner, I forget what it's called, is literally the best liner I have ever found for easily doing a wing. And this is coming from someone who really used to struggle with doing a wing. And now I've gotten to where I'm pretty consistent, and it's all thanks to that liner. So little side recommendation. This is the Bite Beauty Upswing Mascara. Now, I don't like to spend a lot when it comes to, oh, this tube is dirty. When it comes to high-end mascaras, I prefer to honestly just buy my mascara at the drugstore because more often than not, I'd say 95% of the time, I'm using falsies and the mascara is going to get lost. For me, I want to pay a higher price point for mascara when I know I'm going to use it on its own. So here's what this looks like. This, what is this called? Spoolie, brush, whatever this is, bristles, is very, very large and in charge. So this is very, I think, key for what it does. So I do go in with typically 2 or 3 layers. This is hard to do on camera, but I feel like I can't walk and chew gum, so I will be quiet now and let you just watch. So, I mean, listen, is there any question that this does a good job? I don't know. My lashes are difficult. They need a lot of help. So I do want to also tell you though, in telling you the good, I want to tell you the bad. It is a very thick formula. It's not a very wet, thinner formula. It is a creamy, almost drier, thick formula. So it does get gunky around the little rim of the tube, and I do have to clean it from time to time. So just want to let you know that in case that is not your cup of tea, because, you know, as we talked about in the last video, everything is not for everybody. In fact, one of you had even reached out about the Charlotte Tilbury spray, and it's so true. What works for me isn't going to work for everybody else. It's what, you know, I love and has highly worked for me. But we all have to take that with a grain of salt. So that is the mascara. All right, eyes are done. Let's move on. So I think for the most part, my face is primed. I am going to go in with a little bit of this Yummy Skin on the high points of my cheeks because so this was a definite recommendation. I love this stuff. It smells so good. It smells like candy watermelon, which again, I've told y'all, I don't like the taste of, but I love the smell. So I also love that it's got this very long little applicator. It's skinny and it's like perfect for just kind of, and this is as little as I'm going to go in with right there and right here. So the thing about this is, so it's a glow serum. You can use it as a primer. You can use it alone with no makeup to add a glow. I don't find that it adds a glow like a lot of people have discovered. For me, it is literally just, I mean, it almost feels kind of watery. And see, it adds a little something, but soon here, that's gone on that cheek. So I don't find that on me, it does what a lot of people find that it does for them. So, which is fine. I am going to go in with a sponge and we're going to go in with the Makeup Forever HD foundation. So I'm choosing this one because in my last video, I wore the Danessa Myricks. So you basically saw it on my face. And then in my wishlist video, I saw the NARS Light Reflecting. So you saw that on my face. But now let's go in with this one. So this is such a good foundation. What I love about this one is that it wears very beautifully. Now, I am the person, hold on, I got to do this. I got to focus for this because I have accidentally spilled this on my clothes by not being careful. Okay. That's what I go in with pretty much any foundation. That is the extent of it. I really don't need any much more than that. So I love the bottle. It's beautiful. What I love most about this foundation is that it wears so beautifully throughout the day. I feel like as the day goes on, it just looks so lovely. It's hard to find a foundation that'll do that, quite frankly. Usually, you know, lunchtime or so, you're looking like you need a little bit of help. May need to go in with a little bit more. Maybe I went in with too little as I'm talking away. No, this is fine. This is fine. So it just, you know, for someone like me, I work an office job. So for me, it's like I don't have the time, or honestly, most days it doesn't even cross my mind, like, let me go check my face. So I need something that wears kind of nice throughout the day, and this just does. It just wears, it's almost like the longer it wears, the more beautiful it gets. Anyways, which is surprising to me because Makeup Forever for me has always been very hit or miss for foundation, and it is almost a little too cakey, a little too yellow, kind of like NARS. And so look how lovely. So my skin is obviously peeking through still. I did go in with less than what probably most people would, but I really just, that's really all I needed. And this is going to wear so nicely throughout the day. My skin tone is even. It's just, it's nice. And it builds really nicely, in fact. So for those of you who need to know how it builds, let's add a little bit more, which I don't typically do this, just so that you know. I don't really build a whole lot. For me, I just pretty much go in with, like I said, the one and done. But I know some of y'all do build, so let's try that out so that you can see that it builds so super nicely on top of itself. So going down the neck, just lovely. Now I have that little red spot on my nose, and that practically covered it. It's still peeking through slightly, but with layering just a bit, it, for the most part, covered it up. The first layer, not so much. But again, that's fine for me because concealer would cover that up. So there's a second layer. Look how pretty, effortless. Like it was hardly any work. And it probably took longer because I was talking. So, all right, let's move into concealer. KVD Good Apple is the one I have to recommend to you for this go around. LYS, I'm actually shocked that I did not love that one just because I love the foundation so much. So this applicator, I've told y'all before multiple times, in fact, this is the softest applicator. It is so gentle, and you need gentle for under your eyes, obviously. It's like the most delicate skin. So for For me, this is I mean, hands down, the best concealer of life simply based on its applicator, but it is a excuse me, fantastic formula. So just gonna place a little. As with all my concealers, I do like to let it set for a few, depending on how emollient the consistency is. I'm gonna let this set for just a couple seconds, not very long at all, and then we will blend it out. All right, let's go in with blending this bad boy out. And it's actually quite easy to blend out. It's like that in-between formula that just, it's not too difficult. It's not too creamy to where it takes you a long time, but yet it's not too dry to where like immediately it starts creasing, creping, and all of that into where you're having to do damage control. That's it. Now, I am going to tell you that I won't be setting my under eyes because I actually prefer this concealer non-set. It's almost like it sets itself. Almost kind of like a cream to powder type of formula. I don't know if that has been what a lot of people have found with this, but at least for me, maybe it's just my skin type, I do not know. For me, that's how it works best. The times that I set it, I like it less. And I like it very much. So obviously that says something that if I, I'm not liking it as much when I do set it. So just be forewarned of that, because if you are just absolutely dead set on setting your concealer, then maybe this isn't the right one for you. But look at how, like, it brightens. It's light medium, so it's pretty much my same skin tone, yet it's still brightened, which is crazy to me. And that is how it will look pretty much the rest of today. And it's 5:30 in the morning right now. So literally, I won't need to set it today, or I won't set my concealer today, and this is how it's going to wear, which is kind of nice because it's like two birds in one stone kind of thing, where I've done my concealer and I don't have to go in and set it. I've saved myself that step. So that is just me, though. All right, so let's go ahead and go in with some bronzer, the Rare Beauty bronzer. Listen, it doesn't get much better than this. It really does not. I am going to go in with my sponge. I'm just going to grab a little here and start blending in. I have really discovered that I like applying my bronzer with a sponge. It goes on better, or let me rephrase, my cream bronzer just goes on better and it kind of melts into the skin. Now, this particular bronzer, you can go in brush, you can go in sponge, and it is not going to go wrong. This is so easy to use. And for I'm not an expert in any stretch of the imagination. So listen, if something can go south with makeup, it will go south with me. And so for me, that it's so foolproof, it says a lot that I can, I can't mess this thing up no matter what I use. Brush, sponge, whatever. So stunning. If you need a very low maintenance, low effort type of cream bronzer, one that's going to melt into your skin, not sit over top, then this is the one for you. So that is a very light wash, and I look warmed up. I look very natural still. It just literally melts into the skin. I'm going to just kind of buff this a little bit. My cheeks, when I bronze, tend to get very muddy, just because I'm not precise in my application, and you know how that goes. Anyways, this is so bomb. You guys, don't even think twice about that one. Okay. Let's move on to blush. So for today, and I don't have a standalone blush or highlight to recommend to you. That is crazy, right? So I am going to go in with the blush in this palette, which makes me even just more excited about this palette, that I can absolutely recommend both of these face products to you along with the eyes, and it be absolutely fantastic. Like literally, that is my recommendation, the blush and the highlight out of this palette. So it's awesome. Makes it a super one-stop shop. And you know what I forgot to do? I've been trying to go in with my highlight first. Okay, let's do that on this cheek first, because it helps me avoid that white stripe. You guys know. And one of y'all had actually told me you were doing that, and I had thought of doing that, and I was like, And when you told me, I thought, oh, I'm going to do that. And I think I do prefer doing this, at least for now. You guys know, change our minds so often. Found a new method to apply. So look how stunning. This is with a sponge. It looks so glowy, but yet it just kind of, especially with the sponge, it just kind of sinks into the skin. Oh my gosh, this is just so beautiful. I love this palette so very much. So that is highlight. Probably going to add just a tidge more here in a second, but let's go ahead and go back in with the blush. And now, I'll be messy, right? Like I'll go into the highlight and just kind of, you know, I'll just place it all over, and it'll kind of mix in with the highlight, and it just looks so much better because then that stripe isn't like, you know, right there. So this blush is very, very airbrushed in its look. And again, it's kind of hard to go wrong with this. It's a stiffer formula, so I do use a brush as opposed to a sponge because lately I have been using a sponge for my cream blushes, but this one just prefers a brush, quite frankly, because of its formula and it's being a little bit stiff in nature. So there we go with that. I am gonna just kind of blot a little bit. And then I'm gonna go in with a highlight brush and just on the very high points of my cheeks, add slight, just a tidge more. Oh my goodness. This is like so amazing. Every time I use it, I'm like, wow, okay. All right. It doesn't get much better than that, y'all. It really doesn't. Okay. So that being said, I do want to go in just a couple of final things. Now, I did not set my face. However, I am going to set just kind of like my forehead, lower parts of my cheeks. Anyways, with the Rare Beauty, probably should have done this before. I wasn't even thinking, to be honest. Okay, I am going to use my sponge. I have been using my sponge, quite frankly. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to use a sponge. I'm going to use this little poofy, which I don't think they make anymore by Beauty Blender. This little, what was this called? Anyways, this thing. I'm bummed that they don't make it anymore. Okay, so with this, you kind of do have to pour it into the cap because this little sifter, there's nowhere else to pour it into. So now this is a very beautiful powder. It does give my skin a very airbrushed look, but I will tell you, it is a glowy sort of powder, not any kind of glitter, like nothing like that. It's just literally just some radiance. And it's lovely, but it's not for everybody. Some people prefer the matte, and that's why this is my hands down recommendation to you if you prefer a matte type of setting powder. Okay. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Just gonna go under there, grab what's left, and just go under here. All done. Oh my goodness, that looks good. I'm really, really liking my makeup today. It's terrible. Okay, anyways, so lastly, let's go in with lips. What do we want to use today? So I have a lot of lip recommendations. This Dior, oh my gosh, listen, oh my goodness, these serums, these glow serums by Makeup by Mario, you need one in your life like yesterday. And then the I Need a Rose by Natasha Denona. The Huda Beauty cream lipsticks are incredible as well. I feel like I still want to go back in with the one I was wearing in my recommendations video, and it's this Dior lipstick. It's the Forever Liquid. This particular one is in the shade Forever Grace. When I filmed my recommendations, I meant to say I also have Forever Paris, and I flubbed up on that one. So if you were like confused, but anyways. Oh my gosh, so easy, so pretty. And it's got like a little kind of like a pointy tip, so I use that to kind of outline as if I was going in with a lip liner. And this, my friends, is the full face of recommendations for the Sephora Vib sale. Obviously, there's a few things I didn't use or couldn't use just because I have so many lip products that I would recommend to you. I didn't use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Setting Spray just because that really doesn't on me add a glow. It's to really lock in and load my makeup for an all-day wear. And so you wouldn't be able to really tell the difference. And so I'm going to just set aside, I'm going to basically hold off on that. So I'm not going to spray that down today. But this is what we've got going on, you guys. So many good products. Definitely recommend everything we used in this video. I will link my actual recommendations and wishlist videos below in case you haven't caught up on those and are curious for this upcoming sale. But with that, my friends, that's it. That about wraps up this video. Okay, my friends, with that, if you found this video any kind of helpful, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. It truly helps out this channel more than you know, and I just would appreciate it so very much. If you are new, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Thanks for staying to the end of the video. Just hit that subscribe button because I really would love to see you again here and just kind of talk makeup with you, just for you to become part of this YouTube family. And before I let you go, I just want to give you a quick verse of the day to motivate you, encourage you, and to tell you that Jesus loves you. Today's comes from Psalm 37:5. It is simple and it is short, and it says, "Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him." If you don't already trust in him, if Jesus is not the Lord of your life, the King of your heart, it is my prayer that he would make himself very, very real to you in this moment. That amidst the chaos that is happening everywhere in the world right now, that you would feel an absolute peace and comfort, and that you would know that it comes from him. Just life with him is so unbelievable, and I can't stress that enough. I love sharing that with you guys, and I'm here for you if you need anything, if you need prayer. I hope you'll just let me know. If you don't feel comfortable in the comments below, then you can private message me on Instagram. But I love each and every one of you, but Jesus loves you so very much more. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.